Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lieutenant Gibson with the Charleston Police Department with the Office of Public Affairs, and I'm just going to give a really brief rundown of what happened today. We are going to have more information as the investigation continues tomorrow, and I will provide you for the time and location for that tomorrow, in which we will be able to provide that additional information. But today, just before 10 a.m., Charleston police officers did respond to the area of King Street and Line Street for a call for service regarding two men that were in a physical altercation. And when officers arrived at the scene, they did encounter two men in a fight in which one of the two men presented a gun. At that point, an officer did fire his service weapon and struck one of the suspects that was involved in the altercation. Immediate aid was rendered on scene, and one of the suspects was taken to a local hospital, and their current condition is unknown. But what we do know is they were taken to the hospital in critical condition. And so when an update is provided for their condition, we will provide that directly to you, so you are aware. As standard protocol does dictate, the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division is going to be the primary investigating entity, as we know, for officer-involved shootings, and they're going to provide any investigative specifics that you may have, so I'll forward you to SLED for any of that information. I do want to advise that the immediate area around King Street and Line Street is expected to be closed for the next several hours. And so that's going to include up to the overpass, that's going to include King Street down to Columbus Street, it's going to include Line Street all the way over to Cumming Street and then down to Meeting Street as well. So please, drivers, pedestrians in the area, if you can just avoid the area. Right now, as it is closed, it is an active investigation. We do have SLED on scene, and as soon as that opens, I will forward that information. I do also want to add that we understand that this incident is solely isolated to this specific area, so there's no additional concerns. We have it closed down, and this, again, this is one of the active investigations. I understand information is wanted, and it needs to be provided, and that is our goal. So tomorrow we will do our standard post-critical incident briefing. It will be at the Charleston Police Headquarters, in which we will have more information from SLED and the other investigating partners that we had. That's going to include any officers' information that was involved as well. Is there any immediate questions about the scene that I could answer at this point?
Did the shooting take place inside that gray home, or was it outside? Where did
I
the
don't
fight
know.
and everything
I don't know
start?
the specific location, but I was not made aware that anything happened inside.
Witnesses say they saw someone be taken away on a stretcher, but then also another person taken away in handcuffs. Do you have that person in custody?
I'm not aware of anyone that's in custody at this point. I'm not aware of anyone that was taken in cuffs. That is information, though, that we will provide later if somebody was detained or is arrested for some reason.
Was the officer injured at all?
No, thank you for asking that question. There were no officers on scene that were injured during this incident.
So it would just be the one person that was sent in critical condition that was injured?
That is correct. It is just the one person that was involved, that was shot, that was sent to the hospital in critical condition.
Were there multiple shots fired? And you probably can't answer this, but was it involving the officer and the suspect, or?
I don't know. I'll rely on SLED for that information. We do want to provide that information as soon as possible, though.